Hey guys, Lexi here. I wanted to share my perspective on kindness and what kindness means to me. This was prompted by an interaction that I had a while ago where somebody was getting a bit upset and triggered by something I was saying, and I suggested through, we were writing back and forth, I suggested that, hey, perfectly fine if we're upset, perfectly fine if we don't agree. Why don't we just at least be kind to each other and we can discuss it from there? And what happened is the word kindness triggered this person even further. And so it really made me think, well, what does kindness mean to me? And what did kindness mean to them? And they wrote back that when I asked them to be kind, they pretty much interpreted it as I was telling them to be quiet, to not speak their truth, to not say anything that was important to them, to not feel their feelings. And that's not how I feel about kindness at all. So there's a big gap sometimes when we're at different places in our lives about what it means to be kind. Because if you've identified with your anger, your fear, your pain, if you've identified that, then when someone tells you to be kind, it is going to threaten you. It's going to feel threatening. It's going to feel triggering. It's going to make you want to react and want to lash out. And that's fine. That's okay. We all have moments when we do that. But I wanted to be clear about what I mean when I say in my groups that we have that everyone's welcome, everyone can express. I do ask that we're all kind to each other. And what I mean by that is kindness is an innate way of being. For me, and I truly believe for everybody, when you come out of your mind, out of what's right and wrong, what your conditioned beliefs are, what your personal views are, those are all valid, all important. But when you really come down out of your mind and back into your heart, then you come back into kindness and you come back into love and compassion for everybody, no matter if you agree with them or not. Kindness is not having to keep your mouth shut and not share your opinion or point of view. No, it's actually about speaking your truth. Speaking your truth powerfully, but from the heart, not from the mind. We all have our own things we identify with that we believe are truths, that are conditioned beliefs, that surround things, that concepts that we think about in our mind, that we analyze, that we adopt, that we identify with. And what I ask people to do, what I do myself, as much as I can, is let's come out of the mind. Let's come out of the mind, because the mind isn't really truly who we are. And let's come back into our hearts. That's where we all get to find the connection that we're really longing for. That's where we all get to really discover, who we truly are. Oh, some wind's really coming up. Of course it would, right in the middle of my video. So when we come back into our hearts, that's when we really get to know who we are and who other people are, how we get to connect, how we get to really center ourselves and find that harmony and peace within. So kindness to me is just an innate way of being. It doesn't mean you always feel like being kind to someone, especially when you're triggered, especially when you're going through emotional upsets. But that's okay. When the anger comes up, just be with the anger and allow it to move through. Same with the fear. When the fear comes up, allow it to come up. Move it, allow it to move through. Be willing to be with it rather than lashing out at somebody in a very unkind, brutal, attacking, energetic way. We don't need that negativity. Nobody really wants that, and that's not who anybody truly is. So kindness, come back to your heart. You can always ask yourself before responding to somebody, and especially on internet and social media. This is something I do my very best to do, even when I'm feeling a little bit triggered, a little bit threatened. I ask myself, what would love do? How would love respond? Because when you speak your truth from your heart, from the love that you are, the kindness that you innately are, then it's never wrong. And it's always kind, and it's always compassionate. The other person may not take it that way. That's okay, because if you know you came from your heart, you know you're saying the kindest, most honest thing possible that you feel needs to be expressed and shared, then it's exactly right. And you're in this together with whoever you're interacting with, and they can be allowed to have whatever reaction, whatever emotion, whatever uncomfortableness comes up for them. And that's perfectly fine, because then they can feel through that, and then they can find their center and their hearts, and they can discover deeper about who they are and the love and compassion that's within them, that maybe they haven't allowed themselves to come out of their head and into their hearts to feel fully. Maybe they're finally seeing a different way of being. But we're the examples first. We're the ones that are spreading the kindness. We're the ones that are choosing to live from the heart. It's not always easy, especially at first when we've identified with our anger and our conditioning and our beliefs. It's not easy, but it is possible. It is possible to get to that place where you always come into your heart first. And it doesn't matter if someone tells you you're wrong, your beliefs are wrong, your point of view is wrong. That's okay. You can smile and give them a hug anyway, or walk away and do something else and decide that you just don't feel like engaging with that energy. That's totally fine. So I just wanted to share my views on kindness. If you guys have your own views on kindness and your own point of view, I would love to hear that as well. Feel free to leave that in the comments. As long as we're spreading kindness, love, and compassion, we're making the planet a much better place to live. I would rather live with love, kindness, and compassion. I'd rather be able to have discussions where we can disagree on points of view and still go out for lunch afterwards. Wouldn't you? We all want that connection. Have a good day, guys.